Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, fear not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Yeah, man, real bumbo clock and I set the volume 8. This is the music from the my niggas. Yeah, man. Oh, repeat them, repeat them. Hey, hey. La 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 la. You man a tribute for Black Uhuru Ray. Hey, hey, hey. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Will my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Por soñar soñé que todo cambiaría, por pensar pensé. Luchar a sangre fría sin perder la fe. Viviendo el día a día, más con sentimiento que marcó mi sinfonía. Darle pan al que no puede comer, darle bendición al que sepa renacer. 3000 errores solemos cometer, pero solo un gran hombre lo sabrá reconocer. Y me di cuenta hoy de tantas cosas, algunas crudas, otras bastante hermosas. Solo más sabios, personas poderosas, no aquellos bastardos que destrozan nuestras prosas. Es la perdición, mala situación de manchar tu corazón por tu mala acción. Dame una razón para darte mi perdón. Siento que tu alma se consume como el humor esteblón. Derramo poesía, arte mensajero que reclamo cada día. Pretendo ser sincero, más comparto mi alegría con todo caballero que mantenga la presión cuando andamos bajo cero. Sentimientos perdidos con calma, malos actos mancharon tu alma. No pide perdón quien dispara el arma, no sabe que un ladrón se bate con el karma. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Real my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. Broken microphone, mystic lover sound, a dream of soul. Real my head alone, living in Zion, but Babylon. One I can get respect from volume 8. My niggas on volume 8, this is key on the studio respect. Alright, alright, alright. Bad boy kills, criminal of soul and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this. Bad boy kills, criminal of soul and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Below the time like this. Bad boy kills, criminal of soul and rich. Money is a gun for me. Respect the nation. Oh. La 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 la. When I can just smoking from the studio of the on. And when I can just put a nigga on the floor. When I live a sound. Oh them, oh them. Ah. la 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 la.
Hopefully this is working now. All right, I think this is working today, huh? Hey, shalom, gente. What's up, man? Academias, buenos días. Malishiva, if you're still there. What's up, Rick? Quam, all will be revealed. Okay, man. Good to have you here, guys. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting today. Something like that, not entirely. Back against the if you're not Israel, it's okay, but why? Let me read that. Forget welcome at Black Conquistadors and Edomites. We not Israel, that's okay. But why does it bother you that we bring up your shit? Black Conquistadors existed, that's a fact. Yep, true that. Very true. Very true. Very true. So look, listen, family, just to cover bases, I use this. I also use this. I've been using this lately. Somebody said, well, at least I heard it through the grapevine, little birds talking. That I might get some people might get offended because I use this. Well, and that's okay because that's why I use all these other translations because I'm not sticking to only one. I'm doing my best to understand as much as I can. I'm not trying to create any new doctrines in case somebody wants to come at you guys and says, "Hey, well, he's using the Kiana Creek." Yeah, I know what it is. I understand that. Anyhow, but a lot involved, man. Listen, I really don't know what else to tell you, but I am very thankful that our Father has blessed me with at least a little drop of His understanding, just even a drop. Ah, man, that goes a lot much more further than all the other things. So, anyways, I use this because it's very user friendly. So, let me go to this scripture real quick, man. Let me go to this scripture and let's get going. First Ezra, chapter 5, verse 73. All right, if you guys want to welcome with some scriptures, by all means, please do. Okay. It says, and by their secret plots. So that's why I have the picture. And by their secret plots. This is a plot right here, family. By these people here. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Khazars. Even Norman Chomsky, your own high scholar, has admitted it and has always, and it's never been an issue. You see, it's okay. You're a convert. We understand it. Even your own rabbi, who I've had, not here live, but I've showed on video. He admitted it himself. Yeah, there was two converts, Yemen people and Khazarians. The question is, why are you arguing about something that's not belonging to you? And then why are you hiding so many things about you? I mean, I have a book pretty thick about Confederate Jews, so-called, they say. Freu Mitzvah, I don't even know how you say that. The woman with the torch. By their secret plots and popular persuasion. What's persuasion mean, family? Persuasion. It translates to the action or fact of persuading someone or of being persuaded to do something. And commotion. So by persuasion, and let's put it this way. Let me just get to the point, Rick. Okay. And just cut the class. How about we do that? Be patient, man. Shoot. Anyhow, and by the secret plots and popular persuasion and commotion. So we see that persuasions and commotions. What are we seeing right now? What are we watching nationwide and worldwide? Commotions by certain people. Both of these people involved, all three of them, matter of fact, you'll see it. And they hindered the finishing of the building of all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building for the space of 2 years until the reign of Darius. Now, my point here is how these people, the enemies, tend to apply secret plots, popular persuasions, and commotions. And commotions. And commotions. And commotions. So we see now one example of a popular persuasion. Freedom, liberty. That's what they say this so-called statue means. Some of you guys are on ahead of me, and then, it's okay. I don't mind. But I'm going to go a little deeper on y'all. Just a little deeper. Just a little deeper. It's okay, though. Just stick around. This is going to be a very entertaining class, honestly. I promise you. Because what you're going to find is it's related to this month, too. It's just amazing to me. Like, whoa. You would think, and this is why. And there's a reason why I chose this picture. Yes, some of you understand what this actually means. I'm thankful that you are on the same page. Thank you very much, my brothers. Right? Androgynous. Man, I can't even imagine that was real true. Anyways, the other word I want you guys to look up on your right now if you like. I'm not going to do it. Libertas. I'm going to touch on it later. You know what I'm saying? It'll come up. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just talk about it now. Why don't we do that? So, just so you know, there's a few names under Libertas, but Libertas. Here's the image. So as you can see, ¿Quieres saber quién es Libertas? I guess because I speak Spanish. I don't know. Well, it's because it's spelled that way. So this is Libertas. Libertas of Roma. She came in other forms, and I'm familiar with this because I used to do sculpting back when I was, it was a gift I've had since I was born. Not sure why. That's why I do completely agree with regeneration, family. I don't know where the hell I even knew any of these, but I was so very familiar with these sculptures, and it's just weird, man. Anyways, I'm not gonna base my doctrine on that stuff, but just letting y'all know, okay? Just my particular opinion on those matters. So we see here now there's a similarity, and we're going to find out that I'm not exaggerating here, okay? We see a lot of similarities with these sculptures, and specifically this style, specifically for this reason, with the statue and standing up, 2 feet, one hand up. That is not a tradition. It's a kind of, like you say, Roman tradition, you could say. But the concept is the name and how we just all of a sudden relate that name to this statue here. Or this statue here. Right? In case you guys never seen it. Statue of Freedom, they call it. Right? Anyhow, let me go back. You actually look up Libertas. You get the coins. You see the similarity? There's similarity in this. And you're going to find out how it's not just me translate. Statue of Liberty is a gift from France to the United States. This is what she has in the book. July 4th, 1976. Now, it says Augusta Bartholdi designed the Statue of Liberty. It is a representation of the Roman goddess Libertas. So, okay, I'm not saying it. That's what technically the meaning of Libertas is. And by secret plots and popular persuasion, hey, but it's liberty, Lady Liberty. Send me your poor, your whatevers. You know what I'm saying? The most dirtiest bastards, they say, but we don't see that though. And commotions. Now, another case of how can I say this? Mishaps, because people that are like our own gente falls for these secret plots and popular persuasions and commotions and oh my God, I'm so happy, so thankful. They actually think that a nation who has never, this whole concept of equality has never been real, family. It's just, be mindful here, okay? And I'm going to show you from material of their own that they've even cleared that up in their own arguments, in their own political realm, in their own political arguments, right? First Maccabee 1:11 says, and in those days went there out of, Ishayahu, our people, wicked men and women who persuaded many, the rest of us, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have not much sorrow. Which we see that our people don't believe us at all. We man, shut up, man. Those are the real people over there. ¿Cómo puedes decir eso, mijo? Ellos son los verdaderos hijos de Dios. For real. For real. Now, I want to say this, and I know I kind of didn't want to, but you know what, man? This is my disclosure. I know I've showed you out before, but because I mean, obviously, they're going to assume that this is all like anti-Semitic talk, right? Because what I'm going to bring out, and I'm going to relate certain things to certain people. Well, guess what? I guess you could say that if I wasn't of Shem. Okay, so I would like to share, dude, just for the sake of this popular persuasion, right? So, in case you guys are not familiar, and I've always told you guys can go ahead and find me on Facebook. I don't mind. But so you can just, in case there's got any wobbles here, and they're calling me a European. So here's my DNA sample. Recently, 64% so-called Mexican. However, from the Americas, 92%, 91%. You go deeper into certain related origins that my bloodline may be from, because they go further into my DNA. So now, long term, from now until 2,000 years back, okay, or almost 1,800 years, generation to generation, it says my majority of bloodline shows 92% from the Americas here. However, it changes 77% Peruvian, 14% so-called Mexican, all right, and yada yada the rest. Now, when you look at the so-called DNA, now it says that my DNA originates from this land here, okay? My forefathers, this DNA shows that I'm from this region here. So for you guys that are saying I'm anti-Semitic, you can't do that. You can't say that because I'm from that region of Shem. So can't go around trying to block this channel or ding me for stuff or take views away because you don't like my truth, because you're going against me. So when you're talking about this channel, guess what? You're being anti-Semitic now. So you better watch what you're saying. Now, let me go further. You see different DNA samples, right? We see that. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Now, I fall under this RB1 haplogroup that happens to be from the Shemitic family, which speaks Hebrew as well as some regions for Canadian language, Akkadian language, Phoenician, and Canaanite, meaning from that region, Afro-Asiatic. Let's go further. I'm going quick. Arabic, so-called Hebrew, Afro-Asiatic. Once again, all right? Go continue again. So as you can see, if you guys want to say about me or saying that I'm anti-Semitic or that I'm a European, and that I'm not a so-called person from this continent, you guys can all blow me. With all due respect. All right. So enough of that. Just want to make sure my disclaimer. I want to read something to you from this book. This book I have here called Perils of America. Okay, this is the book that I mentioned to you guys, who actually admits themselves to be who they are. Okay, so now in this book here, Perils of America, Perils of the Republic. What am I doing? By Percy T. Megan. All right. Hey, yeah, right. You 6'6" Canaanite. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I know, man. I'm so freaking tall. You know what I'm saying? So freaking tall, dude. Anyhow, it says The Perils of the Republic by Percy T. Megan. And it there we see the eagle. Okay, so, let me get that before I kind of keep reading. Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Man, really? You know what I'm saying? When somebody tries to tell you, family, for example, that you're not a people of the Most High, what are you doing with our book? For what if some did not believe? Go back to Christianity. You're a Spaniard. For what if some did not believe? Look at you. You look white. Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahoo without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, thou might be justified. Let me get that. Let me see. Let me justified. Hold on. Let me get it up. I don't know if they finished. I don't think it did. Romans 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So, see, meaning do not fall because they don't believe you. Let them be justified on their own behalf, not on yours. You don't justify them, bro. No, you're probably right. Yeah, you're right. You guys suffered like more than we did. Shut up, man. Stop it. Wake up. Stop apologizing. I don't know why you guys apologize so much. Argentina needs to stop apologizing, man. They need to be apologizing to you guys. I'm not sure why you think they shouldn't. Okay. A nation of people, technically, who had an advantage over you, okay, should not have, or even in any doubt, be afraid of what their persecution shall be. You see, hey man, everybody knows that for every loser there's a winner, and for every winner there's a loser. Well, quite frankly, yeah, there you go, bro. Well, I'm not that short. You know what I mean? I'm not that short. Come on, man. Damn, you swear, bro. I'm not that short. My oldest brother's 6'1", dude, but I'm not the tallest. I'm about 5'9", almost 5'9", man. Like, I'm not gonna argue over a few centimeters and shit. Anyways, so on this page here, they make a very bold statement about themselves. This is page 154, okay? And it reads, hold on, let me make it more where you can see it. Okay, now that's too much. All right, here we go. Right there. Okay, here we go. We are not to doubt, but that providence had decreed. We are not to doubt, but that providence had decreed to the Romans the sovereignty of the world, and the scriptures had prophesied their future grandeur, but they were strangers to those divine oracles. And besides, the bare prediction of their conquest was no justification of their conduct. Okay? So it's meaning, basically, in a nutshell, that the Romans had no clue that they were in the scriptures, that their fall was, prophesied. Okay? Then it says, but they were, although it be difficult to affirm, and still more difficult to prove, that this people had from their first rise formed a plan in order to conquer and subject all nations, it cannot be denied but that if we examine their whole attentively, or the whole conduct of attentively, it will appear that they acted as if they had a foreknowledge of this, and that a kind of instinct determined them to conform to it in all things. Now, what it's saying is this nation became what they become, or this nation became what they were because they had this innate like feeling of themselves that it had to be manifested, which is no different than what we see today. You see, this nation of people they know inside their spirit, family. I know they know. You think 1492 is something to forget about? You bring up 1776 all the freaking time. You tell me don't look back at your history, but you look back at your history every single freaking time. You have a statue, Lady Liberty, almost 100 years now, right? 100 and somethings. But I guess that is very inconvenient for you, right? Let me get that over here on this end. Psalms 37, 12 and 12. What is it? Psalm 37, 12. Where you at? Psalms 37. Hold on a second. Psalms 37, verse 12. It says, "The wicked plotteth against the just, and gasheth upon him with his teeth." You see? Just in any way, shape, or form to make sure that they get ahead of you and put you in any position whatsoever, because they know that the end is near. The Lord laughed at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. You don't think it's kind of like, it's like that fidgety nervousness of themselves. Hurry up, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when you hear somebody explaining themselves to you in this shape and form of way, it has to say something. Although it'd be difficult to affirm and still be more difficult to prove that these people had from their first rise form a plan in order to conquer and subject all nations. It cannot be denied, but that if we examine their whole conduct attentively, it will appear that they acted as if they had foreknowledge of this. Who does that sound like?
Bruh.
What does that sound like? Sounds like these people here. 1492. Then now they're a great nation, an empire that rules the world. And you're going to find out that this is not what they kind of planned. This is not what they planned. Watch this real quick. Let's go to page 81 real quick. It's an interesting book here, family. Very interesting book. There it goes, right here. Okay, you went too far, Holmes. All right, so it says here, page 81, okay? Here it goes. Bruh, right? Today, this is page 81. It says, "Today this nation is in danger of abandoning the rock and settling upon this." Okay, so hold on. Let me read it again. Let me read it. Here it goes. Today, this nation is in danger of abandoning the rock and settling upon the sand. You see my point? The love of power, so prone to human breast, is smothering priceless eternal principle. That's nasty right there. Lust of power is what you stand behind. From being a government of the people, which I guess you guys once were, even after stealing land by the people, so-called for the people, it is being rapidly transformed. No, it's already done. So you conspiracy theorists, you guys are stupid. It's too late. Vatos, locos. You guys are too late. It's too late. They already got you entrapped. You're done. You're done. It's too late. Okay? This whole conspiracy theory shit, it's too late. You're the frog that is boiling and you don't even know it. That's how dumb you guys are. But yet you want to blame other people for the people, by the people who created you, your mindset, your assumption of things. Because all of this stuff that you guys are arguing about, this is all orchestrated by the very same people that turn it around on you. From being a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, it is being rapidly transformed into a government of some of the people. What did I just say? By few of the people. What did I just say? For all the rest of you fools. It's what is called, this is imperialism as opposed to republicanism, and this is national apostasy. And isn't this what you guys keep saying? Nuke Hamas, nuke Venice, nuke Mexico, nuke fentanyl in the nuke towns in Mexico, just blow them up. Oh, and if any illegal aliens cross the border and they're passing by your ranch, just fucking shoot them. Why not? Just you know what I mean? And then call Donald Trump. Yeah, just call Donald Trump. Don't worry. He'll just pay for your damages. I mean, apparently that's what he's assuming and saying. Or no, DeSantis said, hey, you got the right to shoot them. So go ahead, because it's all based on the love of power. So at the end of the day, when you sit here and say that you are a Christian, but you know what, man? You're all fairy tale Christians, bro. From being a government of the people, by the people, for the people, you're no longer that anymore, man. Until summer of 1898, the world imperialism was but little heard from the lips of Americans. You see this?
Bruh.
Hold on a second.
Bruh.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Apparently, you white people and you black people forgot that this was not what it is today. All of a sudden now you want to tell us we get the fuck out of here, excuse my language, because we're beaners, wetbags, and spics, that we're not legal in our own continent where our bloodline has never... Do you want me to show you my DNA again? I have not left this continent at all. At all. Neither has my children. Neither will they leave this continent. My father and my forefathers have been here. Prior to the migration, we have been here. Where have you been? No, but again, you guys forgot. You have believed this whole soup of imperialism, and now you want to point the finger at the gente that actually got you to where you're at now. Don't forget, prior to 1763, Mr. Black Man of Florida, you were kissing ass and we were the ones helping you out. Yet you first helped them. That's why there's reasons why you don't see a lot of people in certain countries, because we know about you. And I'm going to show this too. Today, I'm going to show you too. Now, their atmosphere is fairly drenched with it. You see? America first. Fuck the rest of the world. Forget them. Forget them beaners and butts and spics. Who cares about those Mexicans? Yet, for ages, you guys have been buying products from Walmart, Target, $1 stores, you know, constantly at a cheap price. Where do you think that came from? And what do you think had to be done for it to be cheap for you? Someone had to starve for that to happen. It's called capitalism. It's called spiritual capitalism of Babylon. Now, a perfect wave of imperialism has swept over the land, and the desire of an imperial America or an imperial republic, as it has been styled, sits supreme upon hundreds of scores of souls. Exactly. That's why you think you have the right to say what you want to say. Oh, I'm gonna do the biggest deportation since Eisenhower. You mean Operation Wetback? You mean deporting 2 million or 3, or actually no, there's supposedly 12 million so-called illegals. Do you not know that you're going to probably add another 5 to that? So what happened to the children that you separated at the border? Almost 100,000 of them. Have you gotten those children back? Are you guys forgetting? I mean, did we just fucking go through that not too long ago? Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of angels of God. Hold on. Let me go to that one, man, because there's more to it. Hold on. Hold on a second. Verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Okay? So now, let me go up again. All right? Verse 5. They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation, which is why we're being told to remember our ways. Now, it says, verse 8, when the Most High divided the nations, their inheritance, and he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So why, or let me ask you this. I'll give you an example. Do you think that this imperialist country, that their mentality of abuse benefited anybody outside of America? I mean, Donald Trump imposes sanctions on Venezuela 5 years ago. I guess when he ran, when he ran 5 years, the first year he came in. So I don't know how long ago. What, 5, 6, 7 years? 7 years ago now, right? Now we're seeing a constant migration of Venezolanos because of sanctioning done years ago. Done years ago. And then you guys wonder, well, no. Then you sit here and say, oh, these damn illegal immigrants. Back to your country. The country that you're absorbed its resources from. What means this wild bagel of tongues clamoring for subjects over which to exercise sway? What means this strange jargon formed from an old world monarchy vocabulary? Are men crazed with madness, sometimes begotten by the victory of arms? See this? Let me skip this real quick. Let's go to page 138. Hold on. Go here real quick. She got Ezekiel 2022. Let me see. Donald Trump opens his big mouth. Yeah, give me a second. Hold on. Ezekiel 22:28. Let me get that in a second. All right, bro. Let me put this out the way real quick. Hold on a second. You look for this page real quick. All right, it's over here. They basically are telling on themselves right here, fam. So just bear with me. Oh, man, hurry up. I went too far. All right, we're going to start at page 138. Okay, 138. 138. Here it goes. I'll start here. From being a republic, Rome was converted into a military empire. The cause of this conversion is of remarkable interest to all the people of the United States. Now, you find it interestingly, and don't you find it funny though that they relate to each other? I'm not saying it; they are. This cause is well understood by all students of history, and has been stated in a few masterly sentences by James Anthony Froude. He reads, in virtue of their temporal freedom, the Romans became the most powerful nation in the known world, and their liberties perished only when Rome became the mistress of conquered races, to whom she was unable to or unwilling to extend her privileges. If there is one lesson which history clearly teaches, that free nations cannot govern subject providence if they are unable to or unwilling to admit their dependence to share their own constitution. The constitution itself will fall in pieces from mere incompetence for its duties. Now, watch this. Rome became imperial because she was unable or unwilling to extend the privileges of her constitution to the nations which she conquered. This was the cause of her imperialism, meaning capitalism. The result to the Roman people themselves was that their own liberties perished in refusing the privileges of her constitution to the people whom she had conquered. Rome denied in fundamental law all law of her own governmental being, and nothing else could logically follow but ruins of her government, of her constitution, that is, the ruin of the Republic of Rome. Today, let me repeat that again. Today, the Republic of the U.S. is coursing over the same track to the same goal. But when the tape at the end of the track it's reached, the deadline of Republican life will have been passed. Now, this is a very scary thought, and it should scare the living out of all of you guys. Whether you are if you're counting on this nation, the nation is riding for a fall, just as certainly as did the did ancient Rome. Damn. Whew. Let me see that Ezekiel one. Give me a second here real quick, bro. Let me see what you got. Ezekiel 22. What you got? 28. Let's see. And it says, Ezekiel 22:28. And her prophets have dubbed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity, and divining lies unto them, saying, Thus say the Lord God, when the Lord had not spoken. You see, they cover it up with fake shit, basically. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed and the stranger wrongfully, which is a prime example of why these guys are admitting to themselves. We're in the course of falling. I mean, and that's why he's saying, if you who believe in the scriptures, you say you're Christians, oh, I love America, I'm Christian, then do you not know how history repeats itself and how the way that you treat a nation or a people? Like, for example, the scripture that you guys don't ever read in your churches for some reason, and it's right in your face. Revelation 13:9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity, 1492. He that leadeth into captivity, who financed 1492. He that leadeth into captivity, who helped the Spaniards in 1492. He that leadeth into captivity, who now owns territory and that is not part of this continent, that is still benefiting from the abuse, rape, pillage, and smallpox you guys brought to this continent. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So clearly you don't read your Bible, because obviously your own famous writers understand your ignorance. That free nation cannot govern subject providence. It is now being ignored and scoffed at, as if it were the veriest fairy tale, totally unworthy of contemplation by the reflective and intelligent minds. It is now being seriously urged that this nation is not unwilling, but only unable to extend her privileges to the conquered races. He that leadeth into captivity shall go
Bruh.
into captivity. It's very clear. So that's why I urge you, brothers and sisters, prepare thyself for temptation. What's the scripture? Sirach 2:1. If you come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. But remember the scripture. Deuteronomy 32:7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Stop believing the bullshit, man. It's time that you brothers and sisters start studying, okay? Forget this crap. There's nobody else here. There's no one else that's going to tell you who you are according to the scriptures or according to your understanding. You're going to have a lot of people here with stupid-ass conspiracy theories. A bunch of, let's say, ridiculousness in regards to, well, the Bering Strait. And shut up. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Let me before I go into the video, let me see what you got real quick. Hold on. Sorry, bro. Hey, how you doing, brother? Yes, Shilem. Did you ever hear about the Cabbage Patch Baby conspiracy? Look it up. Well, I don't know if it's a topic, but I'll check into it while I'm watching these videos. Numbers 35:33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defiled the land. You see that? Ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. It is very clear that you guys are walking on cemeteries. How many children did they find in Canada? Of our children, our native brothers and sisters. How many? A lot. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood is defiled in the land, and land cannot be cleansed for the blood that is shed therein. but by the blood of him that is sheddeth. Oh, that's heavy, bro. You want to know something? Remember the scripture that talks about, and it's in Genesis, Abel's blood crieth from the ground. He crieth from the ground. You think that's why when people say, "Oh, abortion should be legal because there's no life in the little baby because it's only a few weeks old." Listen, the moment that thing touches with blood, which is how life is created, it's a life now. The life is in blood. The life is in blood. But what do you Christians know? You tossed behind his laws. You don't care. I can't read all that. All will be revealed. Let me see if I can get into it. The rich are corrupt. The garments are beaten. Behold, I hear labor. You shall feed. Let me read 5 and 6. James 5:5. It says, "Ye have lived in pleasures on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in the days of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and doth not resist you." There you go, right there, bro. Let's see. It's about white babies growing with cabbage patches. That's why I asked. Oh, nah, I never heard of that. Check this out, all right? So again, remember the thought. Let's not forget. Stop following other people's so-called theories of who you are. Remember the days, Deuteronomy 32:7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. All right, listen to this.
Temblores y los huracanes y los malos gobiernos. Y ya hay que mandar al carajo a esos que dicen que mantener costumbres, tradiciones, nuestra lengua es atraso. No, la civilización no nos la trajeron los europeos. La civilización ya se tenía en lo que es México miles de años atrás, antes de que llegaran los españoles, los europeos. Nosotros tenemos mucha cultura y mucha civilización. Es de los pueblos con más cultura. Por eso hemos resistido todas las calamidades. Por eso se han resistido los temblores y los huracanes y los malos gobiernos, la peste de la corrupción, las pandemias, todo lo resiste el pueblo por nuestras culturas, porque eso es lo que nos da la fortaleza.
It goes also back to this whole concept that we're supposedly light-skinned because we mix with other people. Man, get the hell out of here with that shit. Y'all are stupid. Do you not see the actual sculptures clearly show? Plus, the material that the books itself express themselves clearly. Clearly. We were tanned, we were light-skinned, we were dark. We would use grease in order to tan ourselves and even some bread shoot. And you want to know why I can speak boldly on it? Because I used to do it, and no one told me to do it. Guess what? It's a generational thing. It's in the spirit. You just don't know. How would you know? Leviticus 18:25. For the land is defiled, therefore I visit the punishment of its iniquity upon it, and the land vomits out its inhabitants. Man, you guys are actually on point of it because one of my last scriptures is in Habakkuk 2. So, I'm not going to read it. So please don't post it. Anyhow, let's continue, man. I got something more. All right. So look, I'm going to say something to you guys. These are examples of slowly and surely you understanding. Listen, man, what we're being told, we were told one thing. We didn't really know what the hell that meant. And now, like I've been saying, the things that are happening over in Palestine it's happening at a micro level, meaning like on a small scale, and you see it happening so fast, so quick, right? But now you're seeing it with let's say us here. Here, I'll just get up closer, and you see now that the same thing that he's going to say, right, that is happening to them, is exactly what happened to us. We just didn't see it as clearly. So watch this. So, Mr. White Man, you're going to have something to really think about after this whole Palestinian thing. Let's go.
The Jews have a right to Palestine. This is their land. Were they born there? Were they from Palestine? Can they trace their family back thousands of years? Can they point to a piece of land and say, my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather lived on this land and we have it in our family? I want you to watch a video and look at the names. Doc, okay, so there's Isaac Herzog, the president, okay. Benjamin Netanyahu from Poland.
Yes.
Next one, Joseph Gallant, he's from Poland. There's Smotrich, Ukraine. I didn't know he was Ukrainian. There's Ben Gvir, he's a nutcase, he's from Iraq. There's Eli Cohen, the foreign minister, he's from Morocco. There's Yair Lapid, the opposition leader, Serbia. Benny Gantz, the defense minister, he's from Hungary and Romania. There's Gilad Erdan from Romania. There's Mark Regev, Germany, Australia. What is Hatovli, Georgia?
Yes.
None of
these
them,
are
none of them are
indigenous.
Palestinians. None of them.
Oh, really?
None of them. They're all occupiers.
Really?
They're colonists.
No way.
They have gone to Palestine to colonize it for Zionism.
Does it not sound familiar? It kind of sounds familiar. Something that happened, I don't know, like around 1492? Don't you think? Exactly the same thing. And then it's the same people in this continent here of ours, regardless of where you say you're from, that keeps passing laws to tell our gente here that belongs in this land to leave. Passing laws for the same way. But you see, it happened on a very slow level. And we didn't see it because it took years, right? But now we're starting to see some clarity. We're starting to see some, wait a minute, hold on a second. You know, that sounds very similar to what happened to us, man. And see, before we didn't have any movies or anything to like express to us. So for example, every year, certain people have a Holocaust movie. Every year, certain people have a movie about slavery. Well, guess what? Now we get to see what it's like for a foreign nation, a foreign people, to come into your land and to take your shit and to blow you up and to take your women and your children and to kill the men, right? And then to move you out of the way because you're a savage, because you don't belong in this land, because we were chosen. That is exactly what the doctrine of the Scarberry was about. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 20. Let's read that real quick. It says, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings whereby thou hast forsaken. Luckily, our Father had some kind of love for us, or else it would have been stuck being nothing but just hardly anybody here. The remnant was left. And look, and I'm going to tell you something, family. I'm using these examples because two things. We don't know if our people are still there. I know we were scattered. I'm going to show you a map. But at the same time, this is a good example for you to learn what happened to you and how they want you to forget about 1492, but 1776 is okay. Ye shall no more give, Exodus 5 and 7. Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick, as heretofore, let them go and gather straw for themselves. So now we see people with the same mindset, the same attitude, getting rid of certain people in Palestine without giving a F what they're doing. The same concept here now, passing laws in Florida and Texas, forcing cops now to arrest people that look like me, because they can't determine that. I'm just driving around, and if you look like me in Texas, you can get pulled over. And they'll ask me, are you Mexican? Because if I was black or so-called African, they wouldn't pull me over. They wouldn't. Well, if I was white, because they wouldn't assume he was illegal. Of course not. So let's make it worse for him. And the tale of bricks, which they did make thereunto, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Let their more work be laid upon men, and they may labor therein. And let them not regard vain words. We've known historically how Yah had taken advantage of our gente, even to this very day. You complain about low, these illegals, they come in with low wages. They come in and ask for low wages, and that's why they're taking jobs from us. Yeah, but you want to know something? Some of these guys aren't getting paid, a lot of them, because you so-called U.S. citizens don't pay them because you know they're not legal, and they can't call the cops on you or can't sue you either, because then they'll, get arrested. Or you call the immigration on them. We've known cases like that. Remember what we talked about, unknown history of us. As we move forward, these little things, right? I want you to remember that these things were happening. It's not a joke, but it happened in a longer period of time. Here's an example.
What don't you understand? Are we putting missiles near the borders of the United States? No. It's the United States with their missiles coming to our home. They're literally on our doorstep. Is this really too much to ask? No more strike systems on our doorstep. What's so unusual about that? How would American people feel if we put our missiles on the Canada-US border, for example? Or if we put our missiles on the Mexico-US border? As though Mexico and the US never had any territorial issues. California used to belong to whom? And Texas? Have you forgotten? Oh, right, it's quiet now. Nobody brings it up.
What was that other guy doing in the other video, saying, oh, the Israelis went in there and they're foreign people. They don't even belong there. Well, guess what? How do you think we feel? Hopefully this makes more sense to you guys. Now, I need y'all to learn from the experience of the Palestinians to reflect on our history and how these very same people, the combination, are doing this to the, it doesn't stop. Like, invasion, and even if it's so-called talks about invading Mexico, y'all are still talking about that. I mean, hasn't it been enough? Stolen our people's past, stolen our people's history, stolen the territory. What do I mean by stealing? Oh, but trust me, believe you have everything to do with it. Don't blame it on the Spaniards just because Sumarraga was the one that decided. Burning everything about our historical facts, teaching us some stupid ass doctrine, not even teaching the Bible completely in its complete sense, okay? And then showing us stuff that is not even of the scriptures, making up fairy tale stories that supposedly Virgin Mary appeared to some guy in a shirt, when we know now it's a lie. Why did you evangelists or so-called Catholics make this stuff up? Now, how in the world do you not want to push this whole stupidity of the Great Commission? How? Matthew 28, the Great Commission, really? With guns and cannons and lynching and burning? Was that how you converted us? Which to me, I find very, very ridiculous to you that are in these rooms. In these rooms, both are included. White Jesus, black Jesus, both of y'all. Both y'all are all dumb. I'm talking about my people. Lamentation 4:17. Because in case you don't know, you run from the white man supposedly because the black man understands your cause. But did you not realize that it was the white man and the black man that actually came and conquered these lands, and gave you smallpox? It was both of them. But what do I know, right? Lamentation 4:17. As for us, you dummies, as for us, our eyes are yet failed for our vain help. That's vanity. You see, vain help, meaning it's emptiness. There's not, the only reason you're interested is because of some personal shit that you just don't want to let go of. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. For lust, for fear. Those are the worst two things that you can ever deal with. Lust and fear. Isaiah 1:3, it says, the ox knoweth his owner, and it asked his master's crib. You guys have read this before. It's very simple. Animals understand who their owner is, and animals understand where they live. But Israel does not know. My people do not consider it. No. And by walking around not knowing who you are, not reflecting on your past, not seeing what's going on, and looking at your history saying, man, that's relatively similar to what happened to us. Then you're going to go around like every other idiot. This is the one I'm looking for. Is this one? I can't remember which scripture I'm looking for. It's all good. Let's go back to Lamentation 4. Verse 18, it says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Now, we know that with the whole immigration concept, we know who's passing these laws and we know who is in charge. Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. What's going on at the border? Do you not see in the videos? Are you guys lost in the sauce, not watching the videos? Do you guys not know that that's exactly what's happening? Waiting at the border, waiting to send for them to cross the actual, desert? It's exactly what's going on. Let me show you this real quick. This whole idea, and the class I did the other day, I told you guys about the privileges of some people and not some people. Stop believing this BS, family. Okay? Let's make it very clear here. All right? This is regarding Ricardo Rodriguez, but not necessarily him. When you guys get a chance, read this article. Okay? I'm going to get to the point. It says here, hold on. Here it goes right here. I'll just read it. In May in 1896, Ricardo Rodriguez entered a federal court in San Antonio, Texas, and initiated his application for citizenship of the United States, thereby requesting the right to vote. Since Texas declared its independence from Mexico and was annexed into the United States, Tejanos did not qualify for American citizenship because due to an 1872 federal statute that ruled that only Caucasians and Africans could become U.S. citizens. What the hell is that about? But I thought you guys had it so bad. The more I look into this, the more I realize that there's a definitive example of certain people that claim to be treated like shit and certain people that are really being treated like shit. Okay? Pay attention.
When we look at the situation in Hebron.
That's Ori Gavadi, a former Israeli soldier who once patrolled this area. Now he works with the anti-occupation group Breaking the Silence, giving tours to show the reality of the occupation.
On that street, Palestinians are allowed to walk and open businesses, but not allowed to drive. The yellow street on the map is a street where Palestinians are only allowed to walk, not allowed to drive, and not allowed to open businesses. The street that we're heading towards, no Palestinian in the whole wide world can walk on those streets.
Why?
That's how we decided to control the Palestinian population.
So how did it get to be this way? Hebron is a city that both Jews and Muslims consider holy. In 1967, the Israeli occupation began, and settlers started moving into the heart of Hebron. But even then, Hebron's streets weren't segregated. In 1994, everything changed. An American-born settler entered a Hebron mosque with an assault rifle and killed 29 Palestinians. In response to this attack and the unrest that followed, Israel punished Palestinians, banning them from some of the city's most important streets.
صادر شارع الشهداء، هذا الشارع اللي كان يوصلنا مع كل العالم، هذا الشارع كان يعيش بالحركة، يعيش بالزوار، بالوفود من كل أقطار فلسطين، اليوم صفت كنا مدينة أشباح.
Even Palestinians who live on Shuhada Street can't walk out their front doors.
We send Israeli soldiers to weld shut those front doors while everyone else who's not a Palestinian can walk freely. The segregated roads and the settlements, of course we call it apartheid. It's not even a question.
You know, I keep wondering, so who was the real Nazis in Germany? I mean, these so-called Jews people that were supposedly suffering over there, they're acting just like them. And again, let's reflect on this, family. We're going back to this whole beginning. I showed you. So let me show you 3 examples, okay? First of all, we're going to go back to the point. See, we got to connect the dots again, family. There's a reason why all of these things matter. When they say this about the so-called Palestinians, that the Israelis are invading their land, well, what are we talking about here? Who is Babylon? Whose land did they take? Whose laws did they pass? What religion are we obligated to celebrate when we're obligated to have our days off? Listen, at every damn store and every damn street, I see a tree, family. Exactly, bro. There he goes right there, man. Let's go. Listen to this.
The Jews have a right to Palestine.
Now, let's remember, connected. So, like, supposedly the Jews have a right to Palestine, right? So, do these people here that in this continent right now, do they have a right to America? Do you so-called white folks and black folks, you call yourself American citizens, do you have the right to this land? Who gives you the right? Just like historically, right? They're fighting historically for that land. Well, historically, we've been here. Historically, we've been here. So why the fuck is that any different? If you're letting these people fight for a land that they supposedly historically owned, why the hell are you claiming you're a damn Christian and you're breaking laws and commandments that literally say, do not move landmarks. Do not steal land. Do not steal people in slavery. And what do? The very same thing. Do not go and force people into your religions because that's what you guys said you weren't going to do. Let's continue.
This is their land. Were they born there? Were they from Palestine? Can they trace their family back thousands of years? Can they point to a piece of land and say, my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather lived on this land and we have it in our family? I want you to watch a video and look at the names. Doc, so there's Isaac Hurd.
So again, he says, my great-great-great-grandfather owned this land, right? So he's saying, well, these guys are claiming that, but they're living in other countries, being born in other countries. Well, isn't the same thing happening here? Isn't the same thing happening here? You have people that live here, supposedly their great-great-grandfather. Oh, my grandfather came on the Mayflower. My great-great-grandfather came in 1850. My great-great-great-grandfather came in when I was a slave. Shut your ass up. You still aren't from this continent. The nerve of you. The nerve of you to sit here, criticize, free Palestine. But you're sitting on a continent in a land that you stole yourself. That's pretty funny and ironic. Let's continue.
Herzog, the president, Benjamin Netanyahu from Poland.
Yes.
Next one, Joseph Gallant, he's from Poland. There's Smotrich, Ukraine. I didn't know he was Ukrainian. There's Ben Gvir, he's a nutcase, he's from Iraq. There's Eli Cohen, the foreign minister, he's from Morocco. There's Yair Lapid, the opposition leader, Serbia. Benny Gantz, the defense minister, he's from Hungary and Romania. There's Gilad Erdan from Romania. There's Mark Regev, Germany, Australia. What is her? Hatove, Georgia.
Yes.
None of
these
them,
are
none of them are
indigenous.
Palestinians. None of them. None of them. They're all occupiers. They're colonists. They have gone to Palestine to colonize it for Zionism.
I'm glad they're coming to their senses. Anyways, they probably won't. Let's listen to this, okay?
Well, there are two levels of discussion here. One is about the facts on the ground and what should be done with it. Turn to that in a minute. A second is questions of what terminology to use to describe what's happening. Here, you can decide that you are willing to live in a bubble as distinct from the entire world. You're free to do that. There are three notions that came up. The biblical rights, which have absolutely no status, none. Nobody in the world can say, 2,000 years ago, here's my story of what happened, so therefore I have a right to do it now. You can't live in a world like that. Nobody in the world ever makes such a claim. You want to make it, okay, but then just admit, I'm out of the world, distinct from the world. Now, yes, totally distinct. If you really want to play that game, the Palestinians have more of a right to claim to be descendants of the population from 2,000 years ago than I do.
Hey, family.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
So it's funny you guys want to go ahead and say, "Oh, sit in the street in the middle of the street," right? Or to pass stupid videos on Fox News and all your favorite Republican channels and say how bad Hamas is doing. Here you got a man that says you have no right to. Now, if you do want to use the Bible, then you're gonna get smacked in the face for it because and we're gonna see why he believes this. Let's go.
If you really want to play that game, the Palestinians have more of a right to claim to be descendants of the population from 2,000 years ago than I do. My ancestors probably come from the Caucasus. Their ancestors come from Palestine. The Canaanim were correct about this. So you don't want to get into that game. Biblical rights have no status. Now let's turn to legality and occupation. There is 100% agreement among all relevant international institutions, not just the United Nations Security Council, including the United States in unanimous declarations, but the International Court of Justice, the World Court, the Red Cross, which administers the Geneva Conventions, Israel's own top legal authorities all agree that the Jewish settlements in the West Bank are in violation of international law. 100% agreement. Israel doesn't agree, fine. Israeli Jews want to live in some little bubble of their own, they're entitled to do so. But you can't overlook the fact that that every relevant international institution disagrees.
Oh, and again, the question now is in 1846 or 1848, when supposedly they used these laws against our people in government, or when they went to this U.S. Supreme Court and succeeded in taking this land by claiming the doctrine of discovery through the court system. So they use a religious argument to win a case in the court system here in this country. They're doing the same thing to them over there. They're using the Bible to justify a court legal procedure.
Bruh.
Ain't no different, man. Wake up.
On the question of legality. Same with occupation. Every relevant international institution recognizes that Israel is occupying not only the West Bank, but that it's also the occupying authority in Gaza. So as far as terms go, the correct terms are Greater Israel, Israel's illegal expansion into the West Bank. It's hundreds of thousands of settlers there. That's all part of a Greater Israel that Israel intends to integrate within Israel proper.
So I find it very interesting that the 13 colonies was exactly the same thing. They had agreed with Britain not to expand. But guess who was involved in these decisions? Masons, Jews.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Yeah, 1776 was written by Masonry. And who were involved? All those so-called Khazarian Jews. So now we know that you don't have no respect of a contract. You just want expansion and power.
And is developing the infrastructure and the programs to do so. There is no counterpart on the Palestinian side.
Here's his reason behind it.
Are you familiar with the Khazar? Are you familiar with the Khazar theory? There's a theory; it's widely accepted as anti-Semitic that Ashkenazi Jews come from the Khazars and they're not Levantine. But DNA tests.
It's not anti-Semitic. It's a question of fact. So Shlomo Hassan, for example, has argued that, I think probably exaggerated, but it's simply a question of fact. If my ancestors from the Ukraine have Khazar roots, changes nothing. I'm Jewish. My grandfather was Jewish. My family happens to have a story saying that we're descended from the Baal Shem Tov. Okay, that's part of the culture. Doesn't matter what the DNA shows. We live, this is a point that Ahad Ha'am made over a century ago in his lectures on the two Moseses. He says, yes, there's a Moses of history, who may have existed, may not have existed. There's a Moses of culture, and that exists as a cultural phenomenon. And it's the cultural phenomenon within our cultural tradition, whoever Moses might have been, if he even existed. Yes, that's true. We live in a world of cultural traditions. Makes no difference what the DNA says. So, okay, if the DNA says we're not descended from the Baal Shem Tov, hence back to King David, but we're descended from somebody in the Caucasus, makes absolutely no difference to our identity. We should stop this silly game altogether. It's maybe of some scholarly historical interest, but of no significance for the modern world. The modern world is the cultural entities that we're part of, okay? Social and cultural entities. And so we should throw all that aside. They can play with it in biology labs in Israel where they're intent on showing something absurd. But we live in this world with its own cultural, social, political structures.
So live with it, Beaners. You guys are Mexican, so that's it. That's lovely, isn't it? Isaiah 30. Let's go. Again, family, it's one of these classes. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go out, man. All right. Isaiah 30, verse 1, it says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that covers with covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Why am I reading that? Because guess what you guys do all the time? Guess what you guys do all the time? You believe these camps. You believe these BHIs. You believe Christianity. You believe Judaism. You believe Islam. And matter of fact, in every single one of them, right? They want to jump on this game and the Khazarians aren't the real people of the Bible. Well, you Canaanites are not either. Oh, well, Christianity is the way to go. Yeah, well, guess what? You guys claim that the laws are done away with. Well, Judaism is the right way. Yeah, I don't believe in any Mashiach. And Islam wants to always criticize everybody else, and they don't even know that they actually worship the same scriptures that they criticize. Pretty stupid. Pretty dumb. You guys, all of you, sit here in a silly manner and have no clue that you're following exactly Satan. Yeah. There's Satan. That's it. It's crazy, man. Verse 2, that walk down into Egypt, meaning bondage, meaning the wisdom of Egypt. You guys that want to vote for Democrats or Republicans, or that go to these churches, or that are married to somebody that believes in this Christianity concept, and everybody's going to be free, and laws are okay, and it's just the way life is, and Israelis don't mean no harm. Like I got sisters that believe that shit. Trust me. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of the Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's their religion. This is their culture. Shut up and believe it. Like he said. Don't learn about your history. Who cares? You're a native who they found in a hut, and that's as good as it gets for you. Therefore shall the strength of the Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion, which is why I keep telling you, study to show thyself approved, or vote for Trump. I mean, if you guys are still in this political world, I don't know why you're doing that. Now, I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to say this. If you think about this for a second, every single one of us has at least trusted in this system once or another, one or another. Okay, we all fell. We all fell for this, for the gimmick. Okay, it's okay. Let's get a little history why I called her what she is. Lady Liberty Jewish? It says. Okay. It says here. With the right. Oh, hold on a second. The Statue of Liberty in 1936. Oh, my bad. It says with her right arm raised heavenward, it's easy to imagine that the Statue of Liberty, built in 1886, stands in mid-harbor, vowing to remember Jerusalem. Lets her right hand wither. See that? In truth, Lady Liberty is not technically a Jew. Her father was a Freemason. What? Yes, her father was a Freemason. The sculptor Frederick Augusti Bartholdi, which I did everything I could, and I couldn't find no religious background on this guy, called her Libertas, after the Roman goddess of freedom. He wanted her to resemble the goddess Isis, the Egyptian queen of heaven. Ooh, it's getting good now. It's getting good now. So, do we have a queen of heaven here? Also, gentlemen, I believe we do have a queen of heaven here. Seems like we do have a queen of heaven here. So, I'm gonna get ahead a little bit, just so you guys can, I found this very funny because this is from a book called This is page 18, right? But this is from a book called you guys have seen this, Mystery Babylon, right? Mystery Babylon. Well, Babylon Mystery Religions. Man, stop. Ancient and modern. Look at that. What does that look like, huh? Anyways, let's continue. We go to page 18 real quick. Watch what it says here real quick. Let me just get to the point. It says here, in further indication that Mary, here I'm reading this part right here, okay? Hold on, let me see if I can highlight it. Hold on. Right here. Reading it right here, okay? From right here to right here. It says, a further indication that Mary worship developed out of the old world, okay? Hold on a second here. Out of the old world, out of the old worship of the mother goddess may be seen in the titles that are ascribed to her. Mary is often called, here, let me go ahead and do this. I'll stop from the top again. A further indication that Mary worship developed out of the old worship of the mother goddess may be seen in the titles that are ascribed to her. Mary is often called the Madonna. According to Hislop, this expression is the translation of the titles by which the Babylonian goddess was known. In deified form, Nimrod, oh shoot, here we go again, came to be known as Baal. The title of his wife, the female divinity, would be the equivalent of Baalti. In English, this word means my lady. In Latin, mi domina. In Italian, it is corrupted into well known as Madonna. Among the Phoenicians, the mother goddess was known as the Lady of the Sea.
Bruh.
So that is really weird to me, my friend. That to me was like, whoa. What do we know about the Lady Liberty? She is on the sea. She is also the Queen of Heaven, right? So now we're going to see here. Watch this. It's all connecting, my family. It's all connecting, and we see why now the worship is mandatory. Oh, I can't find it. Yeah, okay. Well, what the hell we do then? Hold on. Oh, I know why. Okay, that's why. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can find it now. That's weird. Let me see if I can get it here. Go back here. Boom, boom. Mary, continue. The mother, Christianity. Here's the mother goddess, right? False worship of Babylon, a worship of a woman. In Ephesus, the great mother known as Diana, the temple dedicated to her in the city was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. In Egypt, the mother was known as Isis. It's what he said. Goddess Isis, Egyptian queen of heaven. I'm not lying. They're saying this. Now, this was a so-called Jew. Now, a lot of people talk about him, but he doesn't admit that he is. I find it interesting. But there's a lot of talk about this person, the Holy Mother, right? Tammuz, we understand. And if we go back to here, these sections here, you'll see how we have in this book. Where are you at? Here, I'll take you to this part here. The mother child, Tammuz, Semiramis, I'm sorry, Mary Church. She represents the Queen of Heaven, right? Okay. So now let's continue on this other part here. Watch this. What is the Jewish history of the U.S. Statue of Liberty? Time would change the Statue of Liberty meaning for the Jewish community of America as new immigrants arrived in greater numbers at the Harbor of Freedom. I find this interesting. An entire decade before Lady Liberty took her place on Bedloe Island in the New York Labor, the Jews of the United States erected their own Statue of Liberty. The process began in 1874 when the B'nai B'rith organization, okay, in the United States commissioned a monument to religious liberty with a location to be in Philadelphia. This city was selected because it was where the Declaration of Independence had been signed. Now, who are these people? The B'rith organization. Just kind of get to the real quick manner. This is who they are. Well, they're probably slow to process. Just go real quick here. It says here, Children of the Covenant is a 501c nonprofit Jewish service organization and was formerly a German Jewish cultural association. B'nai B'rith states that it is committed to the security and continuity of the Jewish people in the state of Israel and combating anti-Semitism and other forms of bigotry. Huh. Interesting, huh? Interesting who they are. I'm going to dabble into this a little bit more further. Check this out now. I'll show you a picture because remember, this artist used a variety of arts to, put this statue together. The Statue of Liberty, a symbol of democracy and freedom that has greeted countless immigrants to U.S. shores, was inspired by a project representing an Arab woman guarding Suez Canal, researchers said. The recent findings are especially startling for some in the United States amid a heated debate over the arrival of the refugees from war-scarred Syria and other Muslim-majority countries. French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, who traveled to Egypt in 1855 and 1856, developed there a passion for large-scale public monuments and colossal sculptures. When the Egyptian government sought proposal in 1869 to build a lighthouse for the Suez Canal, Bartholdi designed a huge statue of a robed woman holding a torch, which he called Egypt Brights Light to Asia. We see that picture here. Wow. You tell me. So we're seeing that the meaning of this society, everything in this society has a meaning. There's nothing to be ignored when you look around. Nothing to be ignored. So we now know from, several scriptures you brothers have brought out, I appreciate it. And from what we're actually following up with this one, Habakkuk 2:6. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the table, that he may run that readeth it. So I'm trying to make it plain for you guys to see the connection of how on a macro level, on a big scale, a very slower process, you've been conquered and told you were savages and slowly been moved out of your own God-given land. So that's why write the vision, make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. So as soon as you read what I'm showing you, you should start understanding that it's time to get your ass into these particular matters that pertain to us. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, meaning rumors of wars, things are becoming available for us to see what's going on. But at the end, it shall speak, because it ain't going to give you time to figure it out by then and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So for you that thinking, I don't see things happening here, it's not really happening. Okay. All right. We'll see. Verse 6, shall not all these all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Isn't that what you've been doing? Isn't that what they're doing over there? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, shall they not rise up suddenly, that they shall bite thee? You think we don't get to this point now? We're at this point. Now you're saying you're going to deport a bunch of our gente. And now you're going to supposedly invade some people. And now you're invading other people and providing support for them to be invaded. In a wake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Like, you don't think they're going to strike back, bite you back? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Because of men's blood, there's a lot of history that both of you, specifically you three nations, have ignored. Some say that we didn't go through slavery. Others don't even consider us people of the scriptures. And the other say is, it's, doctrine of discovery. It was a manifest destiny for us to conquer and kill you. Yeah, that's what you guys say. That's what you say, because that's what you believe in. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of the man's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covereth an evil covetousness with his house. You think this is not about covetousness, Mr. America? Or Mr. Israeli? It's all about power. That he may set his nest on high. That's all you guys want. We're the chosen people. Everybody better submit to me. That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting up many people, and thou hast sinned against thy soul. Verse 15. Woe to him that giveth his labor to drink, that putteth thy whole bottle to him, that making him drunk also, that thou mayest look unto their nakedness. Meaning, if you are blind and you're saying, man, I don't give a shit what you say, bro. All that damn church shit, bro. Man, get out of here. All right. I found this video from one of
the statue.
And let's go ahead and learn about this real quick. Now we're going to get some video understanding of what I was just sharing. And then we're almost done. All right, let's go.
Of Lucifer. Recently, comedian Bobby Lee and his friends reacted to a video I made 2 years ago on his podcast. In the video, I talk about the possibility that the Statue of Liberty could be a statue that's paying an homage to Satan. In that 1-minute video, I barely scratched the surface concerning this topic, so I don't blame anyone who doesn't consider the idea a possibility.
Here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Let's
right
hear
here.
It is actually a statue dedicated to Lucifer. The left is a painting made in the 17th century.
Wow.
Known as Satan summoning his legion.
I'm in.
Now, the devil's original name in the Bible was known as Lucifer, or in Hebrew, Hellel, which means the light bearer or the bringer of light.
Well, hold on.
Amen.
It's holding a torch. It's bearing the light.
Amen.
Now, the Statue of Liberty looks awfully similar to the Colossus of Rhodes. Now, the Colossus of Rhodes was one of the ancient wonders of the world. It was a bronze Greek statue. It was about 108 feet tall.
Dude, looks like it's there it is right there. We're in a diaper.
It's holding a torch. This statue is dedicated to the Greek god Helios, the god of the sun, the god of the light. In fact, many Luciferians refer to the devil as the great light. And this painting of Satan summoning his legions looks awfully similar to the face of the Statue of Liberty. I mean, take a look. Looks pretty similar to me.
Amen.
Since I have made that video, I have found a lot of detailed information about the Statue of Liberty possibly being an idol to the accuser.
Ready to buy a home? Get pre-qualified with Wells.
The Statue of Liberty is an American landmark visited by approximately 3.5 million people every year, and is recognized internationally as a symbol of American ideals. According to the apparent historical narrative we have been given concerning the Statue of Liberty, it is a universal symbol of freedom, originally conceived as an emblem of the friendship between the people of France and the US, and a sign of their mutual desire for liberty. It was also meant to celebrate the abolition of slavery following the US Civil War. Over the years, the statue has become much more. It is the mother of exiles, greeting millions of immigrants and embodying hope and opportunity for those seeking a better life in America. It stirs the desire for freedom in people all over the world. It represents the United States itself. We have been given a bunch of narratives concerning who the Statue of Liberty is actually modeled after. The history books tell us that the original model may have been an Egyptian woman. Many historians say that the Statue of Liberty was modeled after Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. We have also been told that the sculptor Frederick August Bartholdi was first inspired by the colossal figures guarding Nubian tombs. Some historians even believe that it's an amalgamation of all of these, the Roman goddess Libertas, a peasant, and the extra inspiration in the artist's own mind. So who was the sculptor that designed the Statue of Liberty, and what was the actual purpose behind the statue? The sculptor behind the Statue of Liberty was a high-ranking Freemason named Frederick August Bartholdi, who was born in 1834 in Colmar, France.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to play the videos and then I'm going to cut it off, all right? So just letting y'all know ahead of time. But I'm going to be reading and then, you'll know when I'm done when I play the music. This is the same book, chapter 1. It reads, the mystery religion of Babylon has been symbolically described as the last book of the Bible as a woman arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. When the Bible uses symbolic language, a woman, in this case, it's a nation. It's not a church, dummies. Let's continue.
In the Alsace region on the border of Germany, according to ScottishRite.org, the Statue of Liberty has Masonic origins and ties to Freemasonry. In fact, the Colossus in New York's harbor was conceived, financed, built, and installed by Freemasons. Nearly 100 years after the end of the American Revolution in 1865, nearly 100 years after the end of the American Revolution in 1865, French political thinker and Freemason Edward de la Boulaye, who belonged to a Masonic lodge in Paris, proposed to France that the country gift a monument to the United States in commemoration of their diplomatic relations, and to celebrate a century of freedom and democracy. Additionally, Freemason La Boulaye and his comrades, which included the likes of Oscar and Edmond de Lafayette, grandsons of Marquis de Lafayette, Henry Martin, and a sculptor and Freemason, Frederick August Bartholdi, had hoped that the gift would inspire their own French citizens to pursue democracy in France. The structural framework was provided by fellow Freemason and French civil engineer Gustave Eiffel, who would later become famous for designing the Eiffel Tower. Copper was chosen as the material of choice by Freemason Bartholdi, as it was among the least expensive material to construct with. The statue was then built by Freemason laborers of the Franco-American Union and was completed in 1885. The Statue of Liberty was then dismantled into 350 pieces and shipped overseas, arriving.
Remember, we know that this particular individual, what did she do? Well, what was she called? Mary, often called Queen of Heaven. We also read that she was considered the Queen of Heaven, Queen of Isis. Let's continue.
At Bedloe's Island, soon after renamed to Liberty Island in June 1885. When Lady Liberty arrived in the United States, it was welcomed by American Freemasons.
Here it goes right here. Queen of Heaven, mother, children of gathered wood and set fire. Queen of Heaven, one of the titles which Isis was the mother of God. Okay, so we're seeing a representation somehow, some way, all relative to my topics. For some reason, they're connecting, and I keep seeing Astarte, the Phoenicians, Khazars, Egypt, Edom. Let's go.
There was debate about what should be included in the cornerstone. The first stone set that all other stones will be set in reference to of the foundation of the monument. It had been an American tradition to have the cornerstone of major public and private buildings and monuments ceremoniously placed with symbolic meaning ever since Freemason George Washington in 1793 had personally laid the cornerstone of the Capitol with the assistance of the Grand Lodge of Maryland. As such, Chairman William M. Evarts of the American Committee contracted the Grand Lodge of Free and Accepted Masons of the state of New York and requested a Masonic ceremony appropriate to the occasion. When the cornerstone of the Statue of Liberty was laid, elements of a traditional Masonic ceremony were observed. A Grand Master provided a few words, and the cornerstone was found to be square, level, and plumb. The Grand Master applied the mortar and had the stone lowered into place. He then struck the stone 3 times and declared it duly laid. Then the elements of consecration were presented: corn, wine, and oil. There's a possibility that the Statue of Liberty is modeled after one of the ancient wonders of the world, the Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes was a statue of the Greek sun god Helios, erected in the city of Rhodes on the Greek island of the same name. Helios is often depicted with a crown of solar rays above their heads. To be exact, there are 7 almost always. Another is also visible in the form of a bronze bust, always with the 7 rays from the top of their head. According to most contemporary descriptions, the Colossus stood approximately 70 cubits or 33 meters high, which would equal to 108 feet high, approximately the height of the modern Statue of Liberty from feet to crown, making it the tallest statue in the ancient world. The Colossus of Rhodes collapsed during a destructive earthquake in 226 BC. Besides the obvious similarities between Helios and the Statue of Liberty, such as both entities described as light bearers and bearing 7 solar crowns above their heads, evidence for the Colossus of Rhodes being the possible inspiration behind the Statue of Liberty is found on a plaque located on the pedestal of the statue, with an inscription that reads, "The New Colossus." There is also a lot of evidence to suggest that another ancient sun god named Mithra is the real inspiration behind the Statue of Liberty. Mithra is an ancient Persian deity of covenants, light, oath, justice, the sun, contracts, and friendship. In addition to being the divinity of contracts, Mithra is also seen as a judicial figure, an all-seeing protector of truth, and the guardian of cattle, the harvest, and the waters. Mithra was famously recognized as being the god of light, whose cult spread from India in the east to as far west as Spain, Great Britain, and Germany. The first written mention of the Vedic Mithra dates to 1400 BC. His worship spread to Persia, and after the defeat of the Persians by Alexander the Great throughout the Hellenic world in the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, the cult of Mithra carried and supported by the soldiers of the Roman Empire.
What about your hat?
Heavy stuff that you keep seeing right there. Remember the Queen of Heaven. We keep seeing the Queen of Heaven, some relationships of these, I don't know, man, these pagans, bro. It's just funny that you know, it's funny. I don't dig on purpose. I just kind of go and start reading, and next thing you know, man, I'm finding all sorts of things like, wait a minute. And it connects to, it's like really like almost in the same house, but just a different room. Something like somebody's talking about it on a different room. And I'm like, wow, bro. It's relating to my topic. Yeah, that's a trip, huh? Yep. It's amazing, though. And you know what? It's just a matter of time before people start to realize what matrix they're living in, so to speak. Video number 2. Let's go. Let's go. Same dude. Interesting videos he's doing.
All right, guys, we are
kind of older, I guess. You guys can join him. I don't know who he is. Satan's Little Season, Alpha Talks or something like that. I think he did it like a year ago. Let's go.
We're back with another episode, and today we are going to talk about Satan's Little Season. We're going to focus on a specific verse today, and let's get right into it. So we're going to continue the topic of the millennial kingdom and the possibility that it maybe happened in our past, and that we are actually a lot further in the Bible than what we've been told. And if you're unfamiliar with the millennial kingdom, what it is, I did make a video on it months ago, and I'll post the links in my bio. I already talked about scriptural evidence for the millennial kingdom happening. I made a video on actual evidence for Armageddon happening, and today I want to talk about Satan's little season. And before I do, I usually mention this in all my videos concerning the millennial kingdom. I want to tell you guys about the timeline. I believe many believers are unaware of what the timeline actually is in scripture concerning the millennial kingdom from beginning to end, what happens. So this is the timeline right here, and you can look up the verses and chapters to read for yourself, and I advise you to read it for yourself, research for yourself, and like the Bible says, study to show yourself approved. Don't believe anybody blindly, including me. So do your job as a believer and study to show yourself approved. And of course, pray about this. That's the first thing you should do before you look at anything. But be open to have your reality shattered, because sometimes the truth is going to upset you. It's going to shatter your reality. It might not make you very happy, but the truth will set you free in the end, like Jesus said. Anyway, let's continue. So this is the timeline, basically right here. During the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus is talking to his disciples, and his disciples are asking him, what sign should we look for your return, after he gets resurrected? And Jesus tells them all the signs. He said there's going to be war, there's going to be famine, there's going to be all these crazy events, there's going to be Armageddon, and then I'm returning. He basically said there's going to be all this destruction, and then I return. After Jesus returns, there's a battle with Satan and the kings of the earth, and there's a verse in Revelation 20, I believe, and it says that an angel from heaven comes down with a chain and locks up the devil in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. And this 1,000 years happens to be at the exact same time as the millennial kingdom is happening, meaning Christ and the saints rule the earth for 1,000 years, and then after the 1,000 years are expired, Revelation says that Satan will be loosed for his little season to deceive the earth once more, to prepare the earth for the battle of Gog and Magog, whatever that could be, and then the final white throne judgment, and then a new heaven and a new earth. And this is the verse I want to focus on today. Revelations 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon. And we're going to talk about this today and the possible evidence for it. Now, I've been studying the millennial kingdom for months now. I've been kind of obsessed with this topic, and I realized something very interesting. When I look back on all the videos I made, I realized it's all pointing, I believe most of I want to talk about on TikTok a long time ago. In fact, it went kind of viral, and I titled it basically, is the Statue of Liberty the statue of Lucifer? And I basically presented the idea or theory that what if the Statue of Liberty is actually a statue dedicated to Satan or Lucifer? If the millennial kingdom happened and Satan is let loose, my question is, would there be some kind of homage paid to Lucifer? Maybe a statue made in his honor to celebrate his release from prison? And I just had an epiphany in my room today. I was sitting and talking to my friend on Snapchat, and I realized, what if that's a possibility, that the Statue of Liberty really is a statue dedicated to the devil? And how likely is that? So let's talk about a little bit about the history of the Statue of Liberty. So it says that the statue was dedicated on October 28th, 1886.
Let me read this real quick. All right, this is from Two Babylons. On page 5, it talks about here it goes, right here, that the Chaldean mysteries can be traced up to the days of Semiramis, who lived only a few centuries after the flood, and who is known to have impressed upon them the image of her own depraved and polluted minds, como la Virgen María, pendejos. That beautiful but abandoned queen of Babylon, queen of heaven, was not only herself a paragon of unbridled lust and licentiousness, but in the mysteries which she had a chief hand forming, she was worshipped as Rhea, the great mother of gods, which such atrocities rites as defined by her, which Venus, the mother of all impurity, and raised the very city where she had gained a bad eminence among the nations, as the grand seat at once idolatry and consecrated prostitution. Damn. Was this Chaldean queen a fit and remarkable prototype of the woman in the apocalypse, with the golden cup in her hand or torch, and the name on her forehead, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth? You got to find this very, very interesting, family, because look at this here. Say you don't say. Say you don't say. What is this? I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. If you look at the meaning of the importance of pushing woman or feminism, now you have our children being told that it is a-okay to listen to this.
Here, it's called It's Perfectly Normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger. Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the and makes it wet.
Can we
Sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? But you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us. Thank you.
Sexualization, mystery iniquity, mystery Babylon. Let's continue.
The sculptor is Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, and its metal framework was built by Gustav Eiffel. And apparently the Colossus of Rhodes, which was one of the ancient wonders of the ancient world, was actually one of the inspirations for the Statue of Liberty. The Colossus of Rhodes is the main source of inspiration for the Statue of Liberty. The Colossus of Rhodes was a statue of the 3rd century BC, destroyed nowadays. It is invariably represented as an almost naked man wearing a crown of sunlight and brandishing a torch, so basically very similar to the Statue of Liberty. Let's talk about the meaning of the Statue of Liberty. Apparently, the statue is a symbol of freedom and justice. The Statue of Liberty is one of the most recognizable statues in the United States. It is often seen as a symbol of freedom and justice, core principles in the United States Declaration of Independence from the British Empire in 1776. So the Statue of Liberty is holding a torch that represents enlightenment, which is in keeping the statue's official title, Liberty Enlightening the World, which is very interesting because many Luciferians refer to the devil as the enlightened one, the one who enlightens the world. So it's interesting that they give the statue that title. And then it holds crowns. There are 25 windows which are said to represent the gemstones of the earth on top of the crown. There are 7 spikes which many believe to represent either the 7 oceans or the 7 continents. And then the Statue of Liberty is holding a tablet. The tablet she is holding in her left hand is inscribed with the date of the American Apparent Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776, written in Roman numerals. And then it has a robe. The Statue of Liberty wears a free-flowing robe, or stola, which powerfully refers to the Roman influence of the goddess Libertas, which was worshipped by freed slaves. And the feet. The Statue of Liberty is wearing sandals with broken chains around her ankle, which represents breaking free from tyranny and servitude.
Also mentions the light. This is on page 97 of the same book. The candles in some part of England, it says lighted in Christmas Eve and used so long as the festive seasons last, were equally lighted by the pagans on the eve of the festivals of the Babylonian god, to do honor to him. For it was one of the distinguishing peculiarities of his worship to have lighted wax candles on his altars. The light bearer. The Christmas tree. You see them all over the place, especially this month. Now so common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt. In Egypt, that tree was the palm tree. In Rome, it was the fir. The palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah as Baal Tamar, the fir referring to him as Baal Bereth. The mother Adonis, the sun god, and great mediatorial divinity, meaning the in-between, the mediator. She was the mediator now, right? Was mystically said to have been changed in a tree, and when it had in that state, to have brought forth her divine son. If the mother was a tree, the son must have been recognized as the man of the branch. So we know now that this has to do with a lot of what? The seed of the woman, born of fire. He has to enter the fire on Mother Night, that he may be born the next day out of it, the branch of God. Fire, God, the woman, mother goddess, the seed, Baal. You see this sign that they have, like Donald Trump. They say don't thread something, don't thread or something. They have a snake wrapped in something like this. Those far right mofos, yeah. You know that there's some connection with them. So now, therefore, on December 25th, the day it was observed as Rome, when victorious God repeated the earth, was held in Natalis Invictus Solis, the birthday of the conquered sun. So we're in these times, in these days, in this month. That's why I wanted to do this class, because I thought, man, it really connects now. I know why your paganism is all over us. No matter where you go, family. Thus, the very custom of Christmas still existent can cast surprising light at once on the revelation of grace made to all the earth, and the efforts made by Satan and his emissaries to materialize, colonize, and degrade them. Y'all degradable.
So yeah, that's the basic history about the Statue of Liberty and the meaning behind it. So what do we learn? The Statue of Liberty represents enlightenment and freedom. Going back to Satan's little season, let's just say he was loosed. I assume there would be some kind of homage paid to Lucifer as a celebration of his release from prison, right? Of his release from the bottomless pit that he's been in for 1,000 years. And what if the Statue of Liberty is the statue celebrating his release from the bottomless pit? And I'll tell you some of the reasons on why I think it's quite the possibility. The first reasons is the people who designed the Statue of Liberty and gave it to America apparently are Freemasons and high-ranking Freemasons. In fact, the Freemasons call themselves the Enlightened Ones, the follower of the Enlightened One. And the Bible refers to the devil. It says not to marvel at him because he is like an angel of light, deceiving people with his false light. So they refer to the devil as the Enlightened One, which is interesting. They refer to Lucifer as the Enlightened One, right? The light bearer, because I believe that's what the word Lucifer means, the bearer of light. And the Statue of Liberty is holding a torch and it's bearing the light.
Get NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. Watch every out-of-market Sunday afternoon NFL game live.
And what's really interesting, there's an inscription on the cornerstone at the Statue of Liberty. And here's what it says. At this site on August 5th, 1884, the cornerstone of the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty, enlightening the world, was laid with the ceremony of William A. Brodie, Grand Master of the Masons in the state of New York Grand Lodge members. And that's basically what's said on this little plaque that's near the Statue of Liberty on the cornerstone. So it's very interesting. The designers were Freemasons, and they refer to the Statue of Liberty as enlightening the world, bearing a torch, bearing the light, leading the world. Another interesting thing to mention is the Statue of Liberty is obviously in New York, and New York is the home or the headquarters of the
Check it out, sis. Check that's what this says. The knowledge to which this is from the same book, page I don't know what, page 71, I think. Page 111, I'm sorry. So it's talking about Easter, right? But check this out. Right here. The knowledge to which the votaries of the Idanian goddess were admitted was precisely of the same kind as that which Eve derived from the eating of the forbidden fruit. The practical knowledge of all that was morally evil and base. Yet to Astarte, in this character, men were taught to look at their grand benefactress as gaining for them knowledge and blessing connected with that knowledge, which otherwise they might in vain have sought from him who is the Father of lights, from whom cometh down every good and perfect gift. Gift. Man, if this isn't the devil, I don't know who it is.
nations, aka the kings of the earth. That's another interesting connection to make. Now, another reason I believe there's a possibility that the Statue of Liberty is dedicated to Lucifer or Satan is one of the inspiration, like I said, was the Colossus of Rhodes, and this statue was dedicated to the pagan god Helios. And I believe a lot of these old school pagan gods like Helios, Apollo, Zeus, I think these are all the devil, which is different names. And the inspiration for the Statue of Liberty is the Colossus of Rhodes. In fact, the Statue of Liberty is referred to as the new Colossus. Another very interesting reason I believe that there's a possibility that it's the devil. There's a painting that was made in there's a painting that was made in 1796 or 1797 by Sir Thomas Lawrence, and it's called Satan Summoning His Legions. So it's a painting dedicated to Satan. And when you look at the painting itself and you look at the face, there's an eerie similarity to that of the Statue of Liberty. It looks almost identical, which I find very interesting. And here's a very interesting picture of Marina Abramovic, a well-known Serbian witch who was friends with a lot.
Oh, you better take a snapshot of that one right there. Wow, man, you cannot get crazier than that right there, family. Look at that right there. You guys know who that lady is? She was part of that whole Pizzagate shit. Supposedly, here, I'll show you. The Pizzagate conspiracy eating babies, right? Pizzagate, I think Pizzagate. Pizza eating babies, right? Harvesting babies for blood, or I don't know, something to this effect. It was like a conspiracy. Supposedly, they're eating babies or some stuff like that. I forget her name. What's her name again?
A lot of celebrities. And
Maria Abramovic or something.
And here's a very interesting picture of Marina Abramovic, a well-known Serbian witch who was
Abramovic. Let's see. Okay, let's see this real quick.
Hillary's evil, and I know, I think she's a warmonger. I don't expect the world to change with Hillary Clinton.
Do you know what lard is actually made of? This food
saved America during the Great Depression.
Tegan and Legend were involved in a bizarre Twitter battle over the holiday weekend. The celebrity couple even threatening to
conspiracy theory that a Washington conspiracy theory around Pizzagate. Trump. It's centered around Pizzagate, the debacle.
That right there. You see that lady right there? The DC Pizzagate unfolds, pedophile scandal brewing. So apparently she does rituals and gives them blood or some crap like that. Something to that effect.
Debunked internet conspiracy theory that a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant was involved in a child sex ring tied to Democrats. In a tweet that has since been deleted, Krogan posted photos of Teigen's 1-year-old Luna, writing, Chrissy Teigen
doesn't want to play it. But look, let me show you this. You guys, I noticed your comment. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Don't threat on me, huh? You damn wicked demons. Y'all are demons. Don't threat on me. It's crazy, bro. Let's continue.
Friends with a lot of celebrities. And Sir Jacob Rothschild standing next to the painting of Satan summoning his legion. So again, the similarity of the faces are uncanny. Now here's the final point that I want to make. Let's go back to Revelations. It says that after the battle of Armageddon is over, an angel comes down. And it says in Revelations 20, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. All right, guys, we are back with another episode, and today we are going to talk about Satan.
I don't know if they're starting to mess with this or not, or what the hell this is. Come on, man, hurry up. I don't even have a lot of other
the
things.
Colossus
on.
of Rhodes. In fact, Statue of Liberty is referred to as the new Colossus. Another very interesting reason I believe that there's a possibility that it's the devil. There is a painting that was made in There's a painting that was made in 1796 or 1797 by Sir Thomas Lawrence, and it's called Satan Summoning His Legions. So it's a painting dedicated to Satan. And when you look at the painting itself and you look at the face, there's an eerie similarity to that of the Statue of Liberty. It looks almost identical, which I find very interesting. And here's a very interesting picture of Marina Abramovic, a well-known Serbian witch who is friends with a lot of celebrities, and Sir Jacob Rothschild standing next to the painting of Satan summoning his legion. So again, the similarity of the faces are uncanny. Now here's the final point that I want to make. Let's go back to Revelations. It says that after the battle of Armageddon is over, an angel comes down. And it says in Revelations 20, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. So let's finish up with let's finish and read this real quick, and we'll be done. From page 103, it says that name, as found by Leard in the Assyrian monument, is Ishtar. The worship of Baal and Astarte was very early introduced into Britain, along with the Druids, the priests of the groves. Some have imagined that the Druidical worship was first introduced by the Phoenicians, who, centuries before the Christian era, traded to the tin mines of Cornwall. Now we know that the Phoenicians were in Tarshish looking for tin. And who was in Tarshish ruling? It's just getting good. It's getting good. Anyhow, let's finish it up with this real quick, family. See,
The
look,
Biden administration is
pay attention to what he says. These guys are complaining to Mexico, but then he almost says, okay, check this out. Why don't you remove sanctions from there first? Y'all brothers and sisters, I want you to stay strong in the Lord, man. You know, continue to fight. And face those tests that you all are facing, man. Really start examining yourselves, because that's really where the work is. The truth is there. That's where you get the answer. Humble and examine yourself. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And he answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, meaning they're the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That ye see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nations shall rise against nations, kingdoms against kingdom, and there shall be a famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrow. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. So this is the beginning, just the beginning, family, just the beginning. I'm going to show you something real wicked. How they celebrate Christmas somewhere else, so you can understand and see that this is not something to play with. Please
Ready to
tell
buy?
your family. Please tell your family, your brothers and sisters, stop doing this. This is the origin. This is what they use. This is their what do you call it? Is this it? I don't think this is it. I grabbed two. Oh no, this is not it. I'll show you guys the other one next time. All right. Let's watch this real quick. It's kind of long, but I'm gonna play it fast, and I'll do some 5 minutes, and then we're out. Let's go. Shalom. All right, man. You guys take care.
Most Americans today are unaware that Christmas was banned by American colonies and in parts of Europe for several decades during the 1600s by Christians themselves. In fact, all Christmas activities, including dancing, seasonal plays, games, singing carols, cheerful celebration, and especially drinking, were banned by the Puritan-dominated Parliament of England in 1644, with the Puritans of New England following suit.
Wait, what are you guys saying? The YouTube deletes the comments. What are you talking about? Because look, here's what I have. Here's what I see here. Like I don't know what the hell. There was comments here like not too long ago. Oh my God, no, don't tell me they just moved them, bro. That's crazy. They just do that? Did they just move the fucking comments from me? Or they don't allow y'all to see it? What's going on? Okay. Nah, there's the comments right there. I don't know what comments you guys are talking about. They're removing, but I can't see them. Anyways, either way, man, hit the links, man, and share, bro. Because if they're doing that, then even more power for us to do it. Let's go.
Christmas was totally outlawed in Boston, and the Plymouth colony made celebrating Christmas a criminal offense. Not only that, but in 1640, Scottish Parliament also passed a law that made celebrating the day illegal and punishable by imprisonment.
Whilst it's hard to believe in these times that a fairly innocuous celebration such as Christmas can be banned, in 1640 a law was passed through Scottish Parliament which made celebrating the day illegal and punishable by imprisonment. Not even mincemeat pies or Yule bread were allowed. The law was overturned in 1712, but the Church's opinion on the matter didn't really change much. That is, until 1958, when
Christmas tradition began as a means of honoring the sex and fertility god Yule with a celebration during the month of December, when a large, single log, considered to be a phallic idol, was lit on fire and kept burning for 12 days, as animal or alleged human sacrifices were offered.
Phallic idol, meaning a penis worshiper.
In the fire on each of those days. Wild, delirious reveling accompanied the daily sacrifices. According to the saga of King Hakon Haraldsson of Norway, who ruled in the 10th century, the Norse Yule celebration and Christian Christmas celebration were merged during his reign. Hakon became Christian after a visit to England, and after his return to Norway, he put into law that Yule should be celebrated at the same time as Christmas. Everyone was required to have ale from a measure of grain and keep the holiday while the ale lasted, or else be subject to a fine. From this point, Christmas continued to overtake Yule, although some vestiges of the original celebration remain, such as the Yule goat, an animal that pulled Thor's chariot and is now considered by many to be a companion or counterpart to.
Wait, so unless I actually post them on the screen, you guys can't see them? All right, so let's see. So you guys can't see any of these? Wait, in your school system they got what? Look, it's saying hell butthead? Wow, bro. So you're telling me they're taking these off, huh? Dude, yeah, I know, huh? They have one at up. one at us and like 7 at them, or even 2 at us and then 8 at them. So I'm surprised they're not letting you guys put these on, man. Okay, I'll show the ones that like kind of have something to say. Okay, so I see the snake tree. Ellie's sister, you got that right. I've been telling these silly ass Christians about that. Torch went out. Wherefore I tell you, not worry about your life, whatever you. Okay, that wasn't taken up, I don't think. I don't know what you guys mean, man. I mean, I don't see it. Anyways, but let's continue. We're almost done.
Santa Claus. In towns and cities throughout Sweden during the Christmas season, large goats are constructed out of straw. The pagan calendar identifies this period as the winter solstice, after which sunlight begins to increase again, making a passage of time, which was represented by the astrological sign of Capricorn, the goat, which can still be seen in Scandinavia and Northern Europe during winter festivities, which was also referred to in Old English as Jol. The slaughter of cattle was an important part of the observance, either to gods or other supernatural beings, so meat, therefore, was plentiful for midwinter feasts, or to leave out as offerings. Capricorn the goat is also associated with Saturn, which was considered the nocturnal or black sun in a number of ancient Mesopotamian texts. And in ancient Greece, Saturn, or Kronos as he was called, was associated with time, agriculture at the end of the harvest season, and death. Which brings us to Krampus, the half-man, half-goat counterpart to St. Nicholas, that has been associated with winter folklore in parts of Europe, stemming from pre-Christian Alpine traditions. The etymology is thought to come from the Bavarian Kram, meaning dead or rotten, and its role has become to punish bad children or scare them into being good, often by threatening to carry them off in a sack to eat them. While Krampus may have been assimilated into the Christian devil, the symbolism speaks to a connection to the goat of Saturn, who is Kronos in Greek mythology and ate his children upon birth, representing the passage of time. Santa, representing Saturn, is the ruler of Capricorn, so he's associated with the zodiac sign of the goat. Christianity embraced the myth, which stems from the pagan midwinter celebrations such as Saturnalia, setting the birthday of Jesus to match the dozens of other saviors also said to have been born on that day. In an astrotheological context, Jesus is associated with the sun, which is born in winter, and the Saturn goat archetype represents the dark force seeking him out to destroy him because he knows the sun will grow into a savior and vanquish him in the spring.
All right, fam. So I'll see you guys till next, I don't know, next week, I guess. Hopefully y'all do well, man. All right. Hang in there, man. And, rest well. And I don't know what to tell you, man. It's been a heavy week today. This whole week, man. I hope you guys stay strong. All right, family. Got my love for you, man. You guys stay strong. And one thing.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
All right, bro. Shalom, man.
Yeah. Oye, es nada más y nada menos que el motherfucker de Plaza de Kings. Estos bebés son Big Papo, dude. No sean rebeldes, deje el rebel. Yo no me quede, yo me hospede junto a Belzebú. No me remete, plebe, no soy leve como tú. Si hay algo que no muere, eso es el hip hop Perú. Y peto, perico, te traje una chica perica. Atrás te voy a mostrar como dos monstruos rap trafican. No trate ni trepe, solo trote, señorita. Treque, donde la sangre salpica. Se aplica, te explica, replica. ¿Pa' qué? Aplica, practica, suplica. Con fe a mi perro grita, yo lo mataré. Tu madre llora y canta la bandeja, flow peregrina, chivolo propina, ina, hacen base, mejor coja vaselina, no imagina, mi vida fuera de una esquina, yo solo quiero más chavo pa' comprar más chilindrina, gira, que somos puros animales rompiéndote todos los cristales, repete señales que a ti no te sale, ¿qué pasa compadre? Somos naturales, voy a llenar todas las editoriales, rate de mi huevo pa' los tribunales, tú eres un antianal, yo experto en artesanales, yeah, se me afaga la cimaita, soplum.
Terco 92 B09 está en la casa, barrio. Escucha bien. Así se hace, Yo. Tengo problemas de actitud y poca poca paciencia. Hablo si me da la gana, nadie me silencia. No quieren aceptar que pa' muchos soy influencia. La voz de los barrios que llega a tocar tu conciencia. Yo sé que muchos quieren llegar a ser tendencia y hacen lo que sea sin pensar en las consecuencias. Es la diferencia, yo mantengo mi esencia y ustedes por pegar han cambiado hasta de apariencia. Y no es que lo diga yo, pero la gran evidencia es que cambian de personalidad con frecuencia. Y no son locos con inteligencia, solo quieren un poco de atención con insistencia. No presumo en nada, hago todo a mi conveniencia. Por eso te doy una sugerencia: conmigo no busquen competencia, que llevo 10 años ganándole a la vida y lo sabe la audiencia. La firme que ocurrencia, ¿cómo pueden joder sin prudencia? No se dan cuenta que mi experiencia es a base de exigencia. Mi trabajo es con independencia y el de otros de un productor depende de su permanencia. Sigo firme en la resistencia, dándole más rap en el track hasta por correspondencia. Que muchos disques evolucionaron, no es coincidencia. El dinero y la fama hizo que pierdan su decencia. Terco 92, cuando quieras, donde quieras.
¿Cómo? Sí. He aprendido a sobrevivir de las maldades, comprendiendo que nada es como tú sabes. Pa' decir verdad, la lucho a diario. No me critiquen, no me justifico, siempre hago lo que predico. Soy de barrio y rico en talento. De una me sacan por mi forma de ser y mi acento en el yauca. Mi gente la está rompiendo por ser parte de este movimiento. Quiero saludar a las personas que nunca confiaron en mí, que hoy por hoy se partean cuando me ven venir. Bye bye motherfuckers en estas líneas. Bye bye a fluir. Déjate llevar como hay people in the street. Yo. Déjate llevar como hay people in the street. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah. Hey. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 es la torita aquí en la casa, primo.
YouTube is the new home of NFL